Hey, what's up guys? My name is Anand and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to talk about search generative experience and its impact on SEO. I know that this is coming up pretty soon and Google has already started testing out across different, accounts. And before it becomes official and, part and parcel of our daily search experience, I wanted to highlight what exactly the implications are, what search generative experience is, and what you can do if you have a website to change your SEO strategy so that you can win the SEO game and continue to drive organic traffic and grow your business. So let's first understand, what search generative experience is. Now, this is basically the announcement that you're seeing over here. And as you can see, the whole point of search generative experience is to ensure that users are able to get the answer to the query in the search engine results page itself. So as you can see, what's better for a family with kids under 3 and a dog, and the user is asking about what they can do in terms of outdoor activity, and Google has basically crafted a response based on the user's intent, the context, and it has literally provided the answer over here. But not just that, it although it does include references to the websites from where it's pulling the information, you can see that the user is able to get the answer immediately without having to click on the website and read more. Now, this is the case not just for websites with informational content. This is also the case for e-commerce. Now, as you can see over here, Google has the user has actually entered a query like good bike for a 5-mile commute with hills, and Google has displayed the response in terms of which bikes are preferable within that range for hilly bikes and what is compatible. And as you can see, it's able to pull those data directly without having the user to click on it and read more. It's able to generate that response directly in the search engine results page. So that's what search generative experience is. And this evolution of search with generative AI is definitely going to impact SEO. So how does this exactly work? Let's go a little bit deeper into a concept called as retrieval augmented generation. As you know, you all must have used ChatGPT, and when you enter a query, it will give you a response based on the data that the GPT model has been trained on. Now, as far as GPT-4 is concerned, it's trained until April 2023 or something like that. But what if you want to get a response that is based on your own data? In this case, it can be enterprise data. It can be something that you have stored in a local machine in your Google Drive. Now, in search generative experience, Google is able to pull in this data from these 3 websites over here, and it's able to craft a response immediately in real time. And the concept that they are using is retrieval augmented generation. Basically, what happens is when a user types in a query like best places for hiking with a family of 3, rather than giving you a response, it's basically going into a database. Now, in this case, Google does not use the embedding model. They have something called as indexes of all the websites and all the pages, right? So it goes through its index, and it's going to fetch the relevant documents that is ranking for those queries. Now, this is important. It already knows which websites are ranking for those queries, right? It's going to fetch the top 3 or top 5 responses or snippets from those websites that is ranking for that query. Combine that with the question that becomes the complete context. Then it's going to send that to an AI model, large language model, to then craft a response that is much more accurate. So that is exactly what is happening over here. So when I type in a query over here, it is going to basically identify the websites that's already ranking for it or kind of ranking for it, fetch the summary of it, summarize it, rewrite it, and then craft a precise response that you are able to see over here. And then it's also pointing to those sources. So That this entire process, as you can see over here, is called as retrieval augmented generation, and that is what exactly is going on. That will help Google to improve the retrieval accuracy and the relevancy of the response. Now, there are a few other models that Google uses, like REALM, Retro, and RRR, which is a topic for another discussion. But this is what is going on essentially. Now, in terms of impact of SGE on SEO practices, there is going to be a lot of change, and again, I am referring to this article, which is a phenomenal article. I would highly recommend reading it. Essentially, this is a nice way of showing you like what is the anticipated change. So this is what is currently going on in your SERP. When you type in a query, most of it is the top three are basically your paid, right? And then you have your organic search engine featured snippets. It can be featured snippet, it can be few other frequently asked questions that you typically get to see, and then you have organic, right? Now, when Google starts officially implementing SGE across the board, you will notice that the majority of the top section over here, as you can see, it's occupied by SGE response, and that is what is going on over here. Now, I don't know where paid will fall into the mix, whether it can be a part of SGE. I believe there will be a possibility that rather than three responses, rather than three references, one of them can be a paid. Why not? And then you have organic SERP, search engine results, featured snippets, and then the organic and your organic few other like knowledge graph. Now that's highly possible, but this is an anticipated change. Now, what you can do, right? What are the actions that we can take in order to survive, but not just survive, thrive in the SGE phase? So I would recommend focusing on ensuring that your website content or each piece of content is in depth, and you are following the EAT, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness, core principles or quality raters guideline. Google recently introduced something called as EEAT. So I'll show you what. So this is what they have introduced. They have also introduced something called as experience, which is the landing page experience, you can say, or what kind of experience the users has when they visit your website. So this is what the Google Search Quality Raters guideline is providing in terms of ensuring that you can always rank, or those are the websites that will typically rank if they follow expertise, experience, authoritativeness, and trustworthy. So ensure that your page is giving all the positive signals that satisfies these four pillars. That's one area. The second area is you can actually try to be explicit in terms of the questions that you can anticipate for from your potential visitors. You can answer those questions in a concise and precise manner. You can explicitly mention those questions and provide answers, so that way when Google has to combine the responses and do the retrieval augmented generation from your website, it will at least refer to your domain in the references section. So that's again something that you can do. The other aspect is make sure that you focus on the engagement or experience aspect by embedding images, embedding videos, and really craft more in-depth and quality content. Because think about this, why would Google provide a reference? They will provide a reference because it knows that you are the go-to source for that query. The other aspect is what so what, like if the Google is giving an answer over here, and if I really want to know about everything about family vacation with 3 kids in Grand Canyon or Bryce Canyon, I would be actually clicking on this link. You know what I mean? Like I'm not satisfied with this answer. It's too short for me. I want to know everything. I want to know about the directions, the time, the best hotels to stay near those location, best food to eat, shopping centers, kids activity, adult activity. Like I want to know everything about that intent or about that query. Google is no way going to summarize that into one paragraph. It's just not sufficient for me to know everything about that query. So you will still be winning the game if your content is in depth. So that's another factor to consider when you are publishing quality content. And finally, if you think that you can use ChatGPT and then you can basically publish, I think it's going to be dangerous because ChatGPT is now a commodity. Everyone has access to it. Everyone has access to Bard. Everyone has access to the best large language models. So AI generated content. I mean, I don't see any websites winning the game with just pure AI generated content. There's got to be a human touch. There's got to be more references, more media, more interactive assets, and it needs to be focusing on those EEAT principles. So time will tell how this is going to evolve, but as you can see, it's coming up fast, and the intent from Google over here is to provide quick responses, and there is still a lot of market share for brands who want to target users, decision makers, and people who are wanting to research a brand, a concept to solve a problem that is based on in-depth research and in-depth content. So that's where the market share is still alive, and I hope that you have gotten some understanding of what's SGE is and how it will impact SEO and how you can future proof yourself. With that being said, if you have any questions, let me know in the comment section. Make sure to like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time. Thank you.